Don't marry someone thinking they'll change. It's important to remember that people are who they are. Now, I'm not trying to sound negative, but it's no secret that Joel Osteen, a well-known televangelist, has made a name for himself with his uplifting and inspiring sermons. His charm, which includes a big smile, thick curly hair, and a smooth Southern accent, helps him connect with millions around the world every week. He's the lead pastor at Lakewood Church, a massive church based in Houston, Texas, and they aren't tied to any one denomination. Despite being adored by a huge number of followers, Joel has also been surrounded by controversy more than once. Some even question his personal life, including his marriage. With all that in mind, there's been some new information about his relationship. Stick with us as we take a closer look at how Joel Osteen's marriage has recently raised some eyebrows. So, who exactly is Joel Osteen? Joel Scott Osteen is an American pastor, non-denominational preacher, businessman, and author who calls Houston home. Born on March 5, 1963, he's one of 6 children of John Osteen, who founded Lakewood Church in what was once an old feed store. His mom, Dodie Osteen, is also an author and is best known for her book, If My Heart Could Talk, which reflects on the powerful connection between family, faith, and miracles. Dodie shares that she's often been called the wife of Pastor John Osteen or the mother of Joel, but deep down she just sees herself as Dodie, someone who loves God, loves people, and is incredibly proud of her 5 kids, all of whom are involved in ministry. Joel Osteen completed his high school education at Humble High School in Humble, Texas, graduating in 1981. After that, he went on to study radio and television communications at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but he didn't finish his degree there. Life for Joel was pretty ordinary until 1982 when he moved back to Houston. It wasn't long before he got involved with his father's church, starting Lakewood's television program. By 1983, he was ordained at Lakewood Church, the one his father had founded. For the next 17 years, he worked behind the scenes, producing his father's televised sermons. Everything changed in January 1999 when his father passed away from a heart attack. Just days after his father's death, Joel delivered his first sermon on January 17th. And by October of that same year, he had officially taken on the role of senior pastor at Lakewood Church. Under his leadership, the church made a big move in 2003, purchasing the Compaq Center, previously home to the Houston Rockets and the Houston Aeros. After renovations, the venue became the new home of the church. It's well known that Joel memorizes his sermons before delivering them, and he often listens to recordings of past messages or conversations to keep improving. Though he's incredibly popular, his sermons have faced some criticism. Some believe they focus too much on the self and lack deep scriptural insight. But Joel responds by saying that his focus remains on God's goodness and living a life of obedience, rather than focusing on sin. His aim is to make biblical teaching simple, while promoting love, positivity, and personal growth. In an interview with CBN News, he explained why he avoids talking about topics like sin, the devil, and hell, sharing his personal views. With all that we now know about Joel Osteen's past, you might be wondering how he met his wife. Keep up with us as we dive into their story next. While Victoria Osteen was working at her mother's jewelry store, Joel Osteen came in to buy a battery for his watch. This was when the two of them first crossed paths. Victoria, born Victoria Eloff on March 28, 1961, in Huntsville, Alabama, grew up near the Marshall Space Flight Center. Her father, Donald Eloff, was a mathematician for General Electric and contributed to the company's work on the Saturn rocket project. He was also involved in developing the Saturn rocket. In addition to all this, he was the owner of the family jewelry store, Eloff Jewelers. Her mother, Georgine Eloff, was a Sunday school teacher. When Victoria was just 2 years old, her family moved to Houston after her father accepted a position with NASA. Joel and Victoria married on April 4, 1987, and have now been married for over 30 years. In 2016, Victoria shared a blog post reflecting on their marriage and how amazed she was by everything they had experienced together. She described their relationship as wonderful, adding that Joel is a great husband who often praises her for being an amazing wife. However, she also admitted that neither of them is perfect, nor do they always agree. Their marriage isn't based on perfection, but on the decisions they made early on, like learning to adapt and being open to change. Most importantly, they committed to building their relationship on the foundation of unconditional love. Joel and Victoria are the proud parents of two children, Jonathan, 24, and Alexandra, 21. Both children have a natural talent for music and have been involved in Lakewood Church since they were young. They are members of the church band, LY, and Jonathan also delivers sermons to the youth group on Sunday evenings. When asked by ABC 13 about the possibility of taking over as senior pastor from his father, Jonathan shared his thoughts. Jonathan Osteen responded to the question about potentially taking over as senior pastor by saying that he is focusing on taking things one day at a time. He explained that for now, he is concentrating on the present and is excited for what the future holds, even though the idea of what's ahead is thrilling to him. At Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, Joel and Victoria Osteen are currently co-pastors, sharing the responsibilities of the position. Both have made their mark as influential authors in their respective fields. Victoria's first book, Love Your Life, Living Happy, Healthy, and Whole, was published in 2008. In it, she reflects on her personal life, her faith journey, and how her experiences have shaped her. She has since written several other books, including daily readings from Love Your Life and devotions for living happy, healthy, and whole, along with two children's books, Unexpected Treasures and Gifts from the Heart. In 2010, Victoria also established the Victoria Osteen Literacy Program, a charitable initiative aimed at giving children who might not have access to books the chance to read. With a massive fan base, it's no surprise that Joel and Victoria have achieved significant success. According to Joel's website, his television broadcasts are watched by over 10 million people weekly across 100 countries. Joel is also a best-selling author, having published his first book in 2004, Your Best Life Now: 7 Steps to Living at Your Full Potential, which quickly became a New York Times bestseller. Since then, he's written more than a dozen books, including Good, Better, Blessed, Living with Purpose, Power, and Passion, 2008, and Next Level Thinking, 10 Powerful Thoughts for a Successful and Abundant Life, 2018. The Osteen family resides in a luxurious 17,000 square foot mansion located in the upscale neighborhood of River Oaks, Houston, Texas. This grand estate is valued at more than $10.5 million, a testament to the family's considerable wealth. Despite their lavish lifestyle, Joel Osteen, the senior pastor of Lakewood Church, has consistently stated that he does not receive a salary from the church, which boasts an annual budget of $70 million. This decision is in line with his personal belief that the church should not be financially burdened by paying him a salary. Instead, Joel sustains his lifestyle largely through the substantial income he generates from his books, which have been bestsellers for years. However, the couple's wealth has been a source of controversy and scrutiny. Critics question whether their opulent lifestyle aligns with the teachings of Christianity, particularly in light of the church's focus on prosperity and material success. The Osteen family's wealth often sparks debates, with some arguing that their affluence contradicts the humble life that many believe pastors should lead. These discussions will be explored in more detail later, but for now, let's delve into the unique and sometimes unconventional aspects of Joel and Victoria Osteen's marriage. One of the more unusual elements of their relationship is Joel's commitment to following a moral guideline known as the Billy Graham Rule. This principle, established by the late evangelist Billy Graham, advises men to avoid spending time alone with women who are not their wives. In an interview with the Christian Post, Joel explained that he adheres to this rule, just as his father, John Osteen, did. He shared that every morning he takes time to reflect and pray, seeking God's guidance to ensure that his actions align with his faith and values. This practice, he says, helps him stay on track and avoid scandals that have impacted other prominent figures in the Christian community. While the Billy Graham Rule is widely followed by conservative individuals, it has not gone without criticism. Some, including writers at Vox, argue that the rule can limit professional opportunities for women by discouraging male colleagues from working closely with them. This could potentially hinder women's career advancement in workplaces where men are allowed to attend private meetings, but women are not. Critics also contend that such a policy could be viewed as discriminatory in certain environments, especially when it prevents women from gaining equal access to opportunities simply because of their gender. In addition to his unique moral guidelines, Joel Osteen has also given some unconventional advice to married couples. One particularly notable instance occurred earlier in his career when he suggested that wives should visit Victoria's Secret to choose something appealing for themselves. In an interview with CNN, Joel elaborated on his thoughts, emphasizing that wives should not only make an effort to look good for others, but also for their husbands. He explained that it's important for spouses to prioritize each other's attraction and maintain physical appeal within the marriage. This viewpoint, while perhaps unusual in the context of a well-known pastor, is one that Joel has continued to uphold over the years. Victoria Osteen also supported this advice in an interview, expressing her belief that it is inappropriate for women to cling to their old, worn-out bathrobes and neglect their appearance. She stressed the importance of couples making an effort to look good for each other, a concept that challenges the conventional views often associated with marriage advice. Her endorsement of this idea, alongside Joel's unwavering stance on the matter, sets the couple apart from the typical marriage counseling advice offered by many other pastors and public figures. This unconventional approach to marriage and physical appearance, alongside their focus on personal growth, helps to explain the Osteen's unique position within the broader Christian community. While their lifestyle and advice may be polarizing, Joel and Victoria's strong connection and shared values continue to be a central part of their relationship. What's interesting is that Joel and Victoria had been together for quite a while before either of them became a pastor. Many may be surprised to learn that Joel never intended to become a pastor. In a 2003 interview with HuffPost, he admitted that he once thought he would never stand in front of a congregation and preach. Despite being asked by his father multiple times, it wasn't until his father was undergoing dialysis that Joel felt the urge to preach. Tragically, his father passed away less than a week after Joel delivered his first sermon. Although it didn't make sense at the time, Joel described feeling a powerful urge to speak in front of the church after a few days of shock. He had never attended seminary and couldn't imagine the ministry expanding. But here he is, 14 years later. In an interview with Erica Campbell of Get Up Mornings, Victoria reflected on their journey. She described becoming a pastor as a whole new experience, something she never anticipated when they got married. Still, it seems they've never regretted their decision. As Victoria put it, God is not surprised by anything. As mentioned earlier, Joel and Victoria's children, Jonathan and Alexandra, have both been part of their journey. Jonathan has explored evangelism before returning home with a renewed sense of purpose, though it's unclear whether Alexandra has moved out yet. During an interview with Click 2 Houston, Victoria revealed that Jonathan attended the University of Texas, where he earned a degree in screenwriting. She also mentioned that both of their children had always traveled with them and helped behind the scenes. After graduating, Jonathan took a trip to Hollywood with some friends from the family to see if he wanted to pursue a career in entertainment. However, he quickly realized that his true calling was to return home. Victoria explained that Jonathan came back from his trip with a firm belief that he was meant to work at the church and help spread the message. Eventually, Jonathan took on a bigger role at Lakewood Church, where he sings and delivers speeches. While it's still too early to know if he'll carry on the Osteen family legacy and pastoral teaching, his involvement at the church is clear. If Joel Osteen weren't a pastor, he'd likely make an excellent couples therapist, as he has a deep understanding of what makes a marriage work. In an interview with HuffPost, he explained that humor and mutual respect are key to a successful marriage. He shared that a healthy relationship needs a lot of laughter and joy. Joel described Victoria as laid-back, spontaneous, and fun, and said that her laughter fills their home, having a positive impact on their relationship. He also mentioned that while they don't always agree, they choose to treat each other with respect and prioritize laughter in their daily lives. It's clear that this approach has worked for them. Despite being married for over 30 years and raising 2 children, Victoria said in an interview with Erica Campbell that she's still completely smitten with her husband. She also emphasized that the key to keeping their relationship strong is by treating each other with respect and honor. Another strange occurrence involving the couple took place in 2008 when Victoria was accused of assaulting a flight attendant, making headlines. Sharon Brown, a flight attendant for Continental Airlines, allegedly filed a lawsuit against the couple following an incident on a flight from Texas to Colorado in 2005, as reported by NBC News. Brown claimed that Victoria, who was traveling in first class with her husband Joel, verbally and physically assaulted her and another attendant after they failed to promptly clean a spill on her armrest. Brown alleged that Victoria pushed her against a bathroom door, elbowed her in the left breast, and possibly attempted to enter the cockpit. Brown maintained her politeness during the incident and demanded punitive damages equal to 10% of Victoria's estimated net worth of $100 million. What actually transpired seems to be a disagreement which was not contested. According to the New York Times, the flight was delayed, and the Osteens were escorted off the plane. One witness stated that Victoria had shown disrespect toward the flight attendants, allegedly because of their race. However, both Joel and Victoria testified that there was no physical assault. Despite Victoria being found not guilty after only 2 hours of deliberation, she was still ordered to pay a $3,000 fine for interfering with a member of the crew. Victoria Osteen appears to have been involved in more controversies than her husband Joel Osteen over the years. One of the most talked about incidents occurred in 2014 when a 36-second clip from one of her sermons went viral on YouTube, causing an uproar within the Christian community. In the video, Victoria suggested that Christians do not obey God simply for His sake, but rather for their own personal gain. She further stated, "We are not doing this for God," arguing that God takes pleasure in our happiness, and that this happiness is what brings Him the most joy. This controversial statement sparked outrage among many Christian followers, as it seemed to contradict the traditional belief that obedience to God should be rooted in devotion and reverence, rather than self-interest. The backlash to her comments was swift and intense, with many taking to social media to voice their disapproval. In the face of the mounting criticism, Victoria Osteen attempted to clarify her position by tweeting a scene from the 1995 Adam Sandler film Billy Madison. The scene, which is known for its comedic absurdity, seemed to further fuel the controversy rather than quell it. Eric Erickson, the editor-in-chief of RedState.com, voiced his strong disagreement with her views, arguing that her message seemed to downplay the importance of devotion to God. Despite the harsh reactions and negative media coverage, Joel Osteen, ever the supportive husband, publicly stood by his wife. He insisted that Victoria's remarks had been taken out of context and misinterpreted, suggesting that her comments were made during an informal backstage interview and not intended to be representative of her views on faith. As reported by Wave 3 News, Joel explained, "Of course, we believe that worshiping God is the best way to honor and respect Him. However, there are times when people can take a short clip and create a story out of it." While the controversy surrounding Victoria Osteen's sermon was certainly one of the more publicized issues, the Osteen couple's relationship itself has not been without its challenges. Despite being married for more than 3 decades, their union has been anything but perfect. In a blog post published on Joel's website, Victoria revealed that early in their marriage, she struggled with dissatisfaction whenever things did not go her way. She admitted that, at the time, she was somewhat set in her own ways and found it difficult to navigate the inevitable compromises that are necessary in any relationship. It was during this challenging period that Victoria credited God with saving their marriage. She recalled a pivotal moment when she felt that God spoke to her very clearly, saying, "If you do not alter the way that you are behaving, Victoria, you will end up changing the life of the man that you married." Victoria acknowledged that she had been unwilling to compromise on certain aspects of their relationship when it came to Joel's personality. This revelation was a turning point for her, as she realized that in order to build a stronger marriage, she would have to be more flexible and willing to make adjustments. Today, Victoria and Joel's marriage remains strong, despite the occasional disagreements that every couple experiences. Victoria has noted that, although they do sometimes have differing opinions, they rarely argue. Joel, she explained, tends to avoid confrontation, preferring instead to resolve conflicts in a peaceful and respectful manner. Rather than engaging in heated arguments, the couple has adopted a strategy of walking in love, choosing to agree to disagree when necessary. This approach has worked for them over the years, and their ability to maintain a loving and supportive relationship despite differences has been a cornerstone of their long-lasting marriage. According to Victoria, the key to their successful marriage is the shared values that both she and Joel hold dear. These values, which include mutual respect, love, and a commitment to God, have helped them navigate the ups and downs of life together. While not everyone may agree with or accept these values, especially those that are deeply rooted in their Christian faith, the Osteens believe that their shared beliefs have been instrumental in their enduring relationship. This insight into their marriage came during an interview with Larry King Live in 2009, where they discussed the importance of their faith and the role it played in shaping their relationship. Despite facing public scrutiny and criticism over the years, Joel and Victoria Osteen's commitment to each other and to their shared values continues to be a defining feature of their marriage. The couple has openly expressed their shared opposition to gay marriage. Joel stated that while he was not criticizing anyone for their beliefs, he believed that marriage should only be reserved for heterosexual couples. Victoria echoed this, affirming that marriage should be blessed by the church and involve a man and a woman. They reinforced this view in later interviews where they suggested that gay couples were not ideal parents and even criticized single mothers and fathers. Joel emphasized that it was not God's best for children to be raised by a single parent or co-parents from different homes, believing that such situations could be detrimental to children. While he acknowledged that many children are raised by single parents, he maintained that the ideal situation would involve both a male and female parent. Despite these positions, the couple has faced even greater criticism in recent years. One notable controversy occurred in January 2015, when New York attorney Richard Garbarini told the National Enquirer that he believed Joel Osteen was using Lakewood Church as a way to make money. Garbarini argued that despite the church's nonprofit status, Joel's sermons, which he referred to as infomercials promoting his books, were aired on the church's television network. According to Garbarini, Lakewood Church functioned as a tool to direct people to Joel's website for book purchases. Daniel Boroff, leader of the nonprofit Charity Watch, added that a nonprofit organization should serve the public, not the private business interests of its leader. In an interview with a tabloid, Garbarini argued that Lakewood Church should benefit financially from the royalties of Joel Osteen's books, especially considering the church's role in promoting them. He believed that if the church wasn't already benefiting from the book sales, it should receive compensation in return. He criticized what he perceived as an excessive promotional platform being used by Osteen. In response, Joel Osteen and Lakewood Church refuted these allegations, claiming that Garbarini's assertions were untrue and baseless. They emphasized that the church had maintained the highest standards of honesty and integrity for over 50 years. The situation at Lakewood Church took another dramatic turn in February 2010, when a volunteer at the Champions Club, the church's special needs children's ministry, was accused of inappropriate behavior with a child. According to Radar Online, a female volunteer witnessed Alvaro Daniel Guzman touching a child inappropriately and reported the incident to her superiors, who advised her to contact Child Protective Services. Guzman was removed from his position as a volunteer, arrested, and charged with indecency with a child. However, by May 2011, the charges against him were dropped after a grand jury decided not to indict him. In February 2012, Guzman filed a lawsuit against Lakewood Church, claiming that the church's negligence in its investigation caused him anxiety, physical pain, and damage to his reputation. He argued that the church failed to secure video footage that could have cleared him of the allegations. The lawsuit was resolved in December 2012 with a summary judgment in favor of Lakewood Church. The judge concluded that Guzman had failed to present any evidence to support his claims. However, this was not the last controversy for Lakewood Church. In March 2017, the situation took another dramatic turn that once again thrust the church and Joel Osteen into the public spotlight. According to a report by Radar Online, yet another lawsuit involving Joel Osteen and Lakewood Church surfaced, this time concerning a serious allegation against one of the church's staff members. The family involved claimed that their daughter, Victoria Wedderburn, who was a minor at the time, had been physically assaulted by a church representative. The incident reportedly occurred in May 2014 during a service at Lakewood Church. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online, a staff member allegedly grabbed Victoria's safety seat, which was secured on the church pew, and threw it off the pew with force. This caused the young girl to fall face first onto the floor, still strapped into her seat, leading to significant physical injuries. The lawsuit further asserted that Victoria suffered not only from these physical injuries, but also from emotional and mental harm resulting from the traumatic incident. This legal dispute was just one of several high-profile controversies to have embroiled Joel Osteen and his church over the years, and it added fuel to the ongoing debates about Lakewood Church's leadership and practices. Although Osteen has long been celebrated by millions for his positive, uplifting messages, he has also become a polarizing figure, with many critics questioning the principles underpinning his ministry. His teachings, which prominently feature the prosperity gospel, a belief that material success and wealth are signs of divine favor, have earned him both praise and sharp criticism. While figures like Oprah Winfrey, President George W. Bush, and prominent pastors like Rick Warren and T.D. Jakes has praised him for his ability to simplify complex religious ideas and attract a diverse following, his critics argue that his focus on material wealth and success often overshadows key aspects of Christian doctrine, such as sin, repentance, and self-sacrifice. Furthermore, Osteen's luxurious lifestyle, including his extravagant 17,000-square-foot mansion, has been a focal point of criticism. Detractors question whether his opulent way of life aligns with the core Christian value of humility, and whether it sets a problematic example for his followers, many of whom may be struggling financially. These concerns reached a fever pitch in 2017 when Osteen's decision not to open Lakewood Church as a shelter during the devastating Hurricane Harvey was met with backlash. Initially citing safety concerns, the church's failure to open its doors during a time of crisis led to widespread criticism, with many questioning the church's priorities. In the aftermath of the storm, Osteen eventually allowed the church to open its doors as a shelter, but the delay left a bitter taste for many of his critics. In addition to these controversies, Lakewood Church and Osteen have faced further scrutiny due to a tragic shooting incident that occurred on the church's property. This devastating event underscored the challenges facing the church, despite its ongoing success and the millions of followers who attend services or engage with Osteen's sermons and books. The incident highlighted issues of security, community safety, and the increasing vulnerability of large religious institutions in an age of mass violence. Despite all of this, Joel Osteen's ministry continues to thrive. His sermons, which are broadcast across multiple platforms, and his best-selling books continue to attract millions of loyal followers who are drawn to his message of hope, optimism, and personal growth. His ability to connect with a wide range of people, including those who may not traditionally identify with organized religion, has ensured that his influence remains vast. Many followers appreciate his emphasis on positive thinking and his encouragement to lead a life of faith that is centered around God's love. However, as the controversies continue to swirl around Joel and Victoria Osteen, some people hope that the couple can avoid future drama. Others, however, are less optimistic, viewing their ongoing involvement in various scandals as a sign that more controversies may be inevitable. Given the public nature of their lives and the scrutiny that comes with their prominent positions within the religious world, it seems that for the Osteens, navigating public opinion and media attention will continue to be an ongoing challenge. Whether they can move beyond the controversies that have so often overshadowed their ministry remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the Osteen family remains one of the most controversial and high-profile figures in contemporary Christianity.